Benita, I want you to say why you want to rear me as a black person and not a biracial person.
The world sees my family as black. The world sees all interracial people as black. In order for you to survive with credibility and expertise, you need to understand that the world sees you as black, so you must get used to that definition with you wherever you go. When people see other people, the first thing they see is color.
Welcome to One Drop Elopes with me and Moses. I'm your host, Benita Osset. One Drop Elopes is my constructive response to demystify and replace white supremacy with the just system. Thank you for listening, for downloading this broadcast wherever you're at. Whether you're listening to One Drop Elopes on IntellectualRadio.com, Facebook, YouTube, or any of the available 3 audio apps, iHeart, Spreaker, or iTunes, One Drop Elopes can be heard as a weekly broadcast on Intellectual Radio that streams live every Sunday at 12 noon Central. For unaware listeners, One Drop Elopes is not just an entertaining radio show. It's a model that on every show educates and equips our people to utilize their gifts in a constructive manner. Therefore, One Drop Elopes will be a collective archive of Black folk who are actively doing their part to pursue justice via a wide array of perspectives, discussions, and presentations. The chief sponsor for One Drop Elopes is Benita's Homemade Things. Benita, email Benita at benitaosset@gmail.com to place an order or for more information.
How long was that?
Moses, why are you always talking about my intro? I have to get this information out to the people. I want them to know what the is, what it's about, why we here, that why we doing it. We not doing it just cause. This is edutainment. You understand?
Yes.
Yes, you understand. So if you had created the show all by yourself, what would you do?
It wouldn't be like what you have it right now.
You wouldn't even. Would you have an introduction to your show?
Oh yes, I would have.
Okay, how would your introduction go?
It wouldn't be like. It would be a gaming YouTube channel.
Okay, so Moses, in introduction to Moses show, you all would not explain what's happening. He would just get into it, which makes a lot of sense. So I actually think that might be more fun and interesting to the people. So real quick, let's do a quick recap. Moses, do you remember the last time we was here with Baba Brandon and Universal? Do you remember anything about that show?
Yeah.
Okay, tell the people at least 1 or 2 sentences about what we did the last time we were here.
That was like years ago.
And we'll see what happened was we missed a week because it was my parents' anniversary, and then we missed a week because Moses and I both were chilling a little too hard. We apologize to people. But what we talked about the last time we was here was a Black liberation. We talked about education and businesses. And today we're going to move on. We got our awesome soap sister in the house, JCJ Chicago, Jackie. And I have worn some of her apparel on the show before, like this one jacket she revamped for me. I get lots of compliments on it, and I've given a tribute to her. So now you all get to actually see her face, see who she is, where she from, who she, all of that good stuff. Where you at? Where you from? And so we're gonna let her introduce herself. Jackie, my sister, why are you here on One Drop Elopes?
Hi, Jackie.
Hello. Peace, 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 peace. Well, I just came out to talk.
She just want to build with us.
I just want to build today. I want to talk about building and building strong communities for the youth. And I want to talk about some clothes, and I want to talk about some Black love.
Okay, well, where you want to start, sis? You want Black love, building, clothes, and also food too, right?
Right.
We're growing the gardens. You want to talk about that? So where you want to start?
Well, I can actually talk about the Build Garden.
Okay.
And that's where I've been working at since I've been back in Chicago. I actually been volunteering, and that actually goes into the food. So, I'm a vegetarian, been a vegan for a while, and this is a free garden, and it's huge. And nobody in the community utilized this garden. I'm constantly passing out greens. I'm seeing people on the street like, you need some kale? You need some collard greens? You need this? You need... And so now I'm just putting stuff on ice. And so what's sad is that I don't have the physical address, but I do have the website on my shirt. This is the Build shirt. And it's Build Chicago. and it's on, say, Laramie and Harrison, right across the street from Michelle Clark. And like I said, those gems that's in the hood that you don't really get a chance to even know that it's there. I was in the grocery store the other day and I saw this lady. She was spending like $7 on collard greens. I was like, you can keep that $7 and go right over to Build, and they'll hook you up, and
For free.
for free, So that's a $7 that you can,
Save.
yeah. But plus, also, I've been talking to them about being able to um have a class inside. So everybody see greens and the first thing they say, I don't really eat salad. And I'm like, you don't have to have just salad. It's just not about salad. It's so many things that, we got Kia. You know what I mean? Kia hook up the collard greens for us and the kale salad and everything like that. But you could take it so much further. So I've been trying to get them to do like a workshop there to teach and show the youth how to hook up the natural foods, because soon they're gonna start charging for it.
Well, let's give a tip to our listening audience right now. What would be one particular tip that maybe you could give the people on how to hook up some kale or some greens, or for those who don't already know?
Well, most of the time people are wondering how to wash the greens. Let it sit in the apple cider vinegar for like 5 minutes, and then rinse them off, and then cut them up, and then you can saute them. Now, typically, like
So you don't use dish soap?
Well,
I've seen people do that.
well, old school, they used to, like my grandmother, maybe my aunt, they would use dish soap to like some Dawn. You know what I mean? Dawn was always, or maybe Ivory, but no.
Apple cider vinegar will do it.
Yeah, but plus, this is coming from an organic garden. You know what I mean? Because organic is really typically non-GMO. So why would you need something harsh? You know what I mean? Like Sally and I, we just pull like the sugar snap peas off the vine and just eat them like right there. So, and we're fine.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they taste good?
They taste so good. They so sweet. Like we've been getting our
Like, can you
healthy
bring
on.
some? Like,
Well, the sugar snap peas are out of season right now. You have a bag at my house. Yeah. So that's what I mean when I was saying about the food.
Okay, great. So, like I know, with the kale salad, like for instance, we had a garden this summer and we didn't take care of it. Like we didn't weed it or anything like that. I wish that I did better, and I think we planted the things kind of close together. So I'm wondering if that was part of the problem. But what did grow very successfully was our herbs. We did a really good job with that this summer.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a picture of what I found yesterday while I was at the garden. I was wondering what was going on with the carrots. Well, they decided to put the carrots, all together. It was like a bunch of carrots all twisted around together. So when you're trying to dig them out, you kind of like breaking a lot of them and it's getting left down at the bottom. So that's one of the things about carrots. I guess they just poured the seeds and didn't, but the children, they planted that, the youth over there. So they planted. But the herbs typically, like, I don't know, it's not a lot of herbs out there. They have arugula out there. I love arugula.
What would you do with arugula?
Oh my goodness. So there's a pasta, angel hair pasta, some sauteed arugula, tomato, and you can add capers or you don't have to add capers. And slamming.
Oh wow, okay.
Says
I know capers is supposed to be really good for you, right? I think I read that somewhere.
But also too, it has like this lemon, like this kind of lemon kind of finish to it, but you can actually add lemon to it. Which is a simple recipe. That's one of those less than 10-minute recipes. I used to have this book back in the day, like Velveeta had all of these less than 10-minute recipes. Well, I want to do like a vegetarian version of how you can hook up.
You should.
You know what I mean? All these 10-minute recipes. Moses could do it himself. You know what I mean? But
did you put a recipe book in the bag?
No, but I can send you your mom the recipes for you. I'll make you a book before I head back to Georgia or something like that. But what else have I made since my loaded fries.
Ooh,
So
like
regular,
potato fries?
yeah,
With what?
home fries. You can have your skin on it or not, and you can do like this. I was doing this vegan cheese, or you can
Ooh.
heat it up and put the collard greens in there and have it on top. Add a tomato and whatever you like. The jalapenos, you got peppers out there. You got them in your bag. You got a nice bag.
That sounds delicious.
They are so good. I got a picture too for you.
Okay. I think that Moses, can you check that? Because I think I forgot to press my live on that thing right there. And let's move on along unless there's anything else you want to talk about the garden. So basically, folks, you can get a free check that for me and make sure that the live is pressed without tripping over the thing. And then for the people, we have good information here, free garden, free food.
Yeah.
And
So it's
thank you,
food
Moses.
desert all over the place. So this is the way you can get something really
Yeah.
quick and
Just make sure that
fast.
the live is pressed. Is the blue button pressed?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, cool. So then let's move on. Then we're going to talk about. We have three other things that you want to mention: Black love and clothing. Why don't you talk about your clothing a little bit before we go to a quick
Well,
little
my
musical break?
clothing and the jewelry. I've been doing a lot with my jewelry. This is some of my more jewelry. My shells,
She got shells with gold. Is it gold, sis?
gold and
And they're kind of blended together. It's nice and beaded jewelry. And she's got these dope earrings. Y'all have to check us out on YouTube if you're not listening.
the
If
door
you're listening
knockers
to audio.
and my clothing. I love my clothing, and this would be something that I would print. You know what I mean, like the T-shirts and stuff like that. So I'm still doing my thing with that, and I'm trying to get more into my crystal jewelry. I didn't make this one, but I do typically have them on.
See, you like epitomize production versus consuming. Like you, like everything you're saying. One of the goals of One Drop Elopes is to get our people to produce more than they consume,
Right.
and our community up. But you like epitomize that. Like you're making your own everything. Make your own jewelry. Make your own clothes. Make your own building with the garden. Make your own food. So
I've been helping. The other day, I did a little video clip. I was showing Solly how to make instruments from just stuff in the house, and it started sounding like a little calypso band. So I just try to utilize everything that we have around us. You can't always go shopping.
yeah, that's kind of old school too.
Yeah.
Because when my parents were coming up, they have this kind of attitude of no, you don't throw this out, you don't throw
Right,
that out. We
right.
can use things and reuse things.
Yeah, old Folgers can. We was using
Yeah.
them for drums. You remember the holiday cookies with the tin can? We end up using them for sewing boxes or whatever. I end up putting some beads in there and putting some straps on it with some tape, and now it sounds like I don't even know what the instrument is called, but you can hear the sound. You know what I mean? You can tell what that is.
It's like
exactly.
that maraca shaker thing.
Yeah, kind of like that, but it's depending on what you use, if you use wooden beads or if you use metal or whatever, it gives you a totally different tone. So that's why I'm inspired to be a part of any school that you will develop. I'm totally 100% behind you on that.
Oh, that's awesome, sis. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Mom, I got a question. It doesn't have to do with the show, but kind of has to do with the show. Like, what happened to you making covers and
Oh yeah.
blankets and
You're
gloves
crocheting.
Yeah, I'm still crocheting. I
are you
don't ever
crocheting
stop.
for people or?
Right, I crochet. I've made I think 8 or 10 blankets this summer, and I need to stack up my products of hats and gloves.
Because
But
I
I
haven't
can
seen you being crocheting.
I can crochet. I do it in the basement in my room now. I got
Got a
my own
crochet
I got my crochet
Oh yeah,
studio.
I saw it. And all of those yarns, I was just like array.
And so I'm down there while he's on Xbox. So he, do you miss watching me crochet?
Oh no.
I should teach you so that you can help me build the product.
That would be awesome.
I've
There's so
gotten to
many
the point where I
things.
can make a hat in an hour.
That'd be awesome. You got to get the children involved. Sally's like, that's so cool, Mom. That's so cool. We made instruments. I was like, thanks, babe.
Right, exactly. Well, let's go to a quick musical break, and then that way we're going to listen to Charzelle and Guale. No, I think I'm saying his name, Guala. I can't remember him when they came over and hung out with me before. I was saying his name wrong the whole time, and then he kept saying, and he never would correct me. And then
No?
after a while, I was like, but they were talking to each other and they were saying each other's name the right way. And so then I said, I'm saying your name the wrong way. He was like, it's cool, it's cool. We pronounce the name differently now. They was really nice about it. But it's Charzelle and Guala, and they're gonna their song Hard.
This is Moses. Thanks for listening to One Drop Elopes on IntellectualRadio.com, hosted by me and my mom. One Drop Elopes is a constructive response to white supremacy, which is racism. We want to see everyone free. One Drop Elopes chief sponsor is Bonita's Homemade Things, where you can get scrumptious cakes, delicious cookies, and colorful hats and scarves. Join us every Sunday on One Drop Elopes on IntellectualRadio.com, 12 noon Sunday Central. Call in at 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953 to share your thoughts and opinions about our show.
Yeah. Wow. Let's go out. Squad. Let's listen up. Yeah. Hey. You see the pain up in my ass. Smoking so much, don't need no passing. If I take off, would it be a surprise? Or would it be just today? Lazy. Just take the business that you was alive. And just remember that your family waiting. And when you do, it's gonna be a surprise. Cause he never know who I was raising. Man, I really started from the basement. And I'm still in the basement. Tell me when I come up, supposed to get amazing. It's been so many years and I'm still not amazing. I'm 21, ain't got no baby. I don't know if I'm happy and it seems so crazy. They always told me, boy, it's gonna be hard. Just don't break the rules and play your part. I always felt like, why should I believe them? Whoever believe them, pray someone will lead them. They always told me, boy, it's gonna be hard. Just don't break the rules and play your part. You see the pain up in my ass. Smoking so much, don't need no passing. If I take off, would it be a surprise? Or would it be just to the lazy? Just take advantage that you was alive. And just remember that your family waiting. And when you do, it's gonna be a surprise. Cause you never know who I was waiting.
I'm tired of doing that I don't want to. Oh God. Hey God, what the purpose of life? Ready to be. That's a Biggie album, but I swear all eyes on me. That's an Amaro album. Pop. Yeah, I'm the new Pop. Say the wrong, might run up in your spot. Take on my sock. This ain't no little pop. This a bar. But I'm straight, so don't play and get out my way.
You see the pain up in my ass. Smoking so much, don't need no passing. If I take off, would it be a surprise? Or would it be just to the daisy? Just take advantage that you was alive. And just remember that your family waiting. And when you do, it's gonna be a surprise. Cause you never know who I was waiting.
Welcome back to One Drop Elopes. This is Benita Osset here with Moses, and you're listening to, again, One Drop Elopes on IntellectualRadio.com. We got, you just finished listening to Charzelle and Guala with the song Hard. You can catch that on YouTube. They also have a page on Facebook. In addition to that, we've just been finished talking to my girl, my sister, JCJ Chicago, or you can also Jackie is usually how I call it.
Jackie Brown,
Jackie Brown.
Jay Caprice on
She's
Caprice, JC. What they
J Caprice Jones on Facebook,
Love
right?
Jones. Yeah,
Love
they
Jones.
keep changing me up, and then
typical story of black folk on Facebook.
right, and Empress
all
Peace
the
on Instagram.
Empress Peace on Instagram. All the inboxes. Sis, I'm in Facebook jail. Hit me up from this
I
page.
Never been to Facebook jail at all. I haven't been there. I'm like, I don't. What? I was like, what is Facebook jail? You cannot post. You can't do this. I'm like,
well, there's all different types of Facebook jail. Like there's the where you just can't talk for a little bit. Like you can still see other people doing things, but you're not allowed to comment.
So is that like
So
house arrest?
It's a striction, right.
I'm watching. I'm looking.
Yeah.
I got a window,
but I can't play.
Right,
exactly. People can't. But see, I guess house arrest would be people could come and play with you. You just can't play with them.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's a good
house arrest,
example.
I come outside, or like you said, restriction. I come up to like 7:00, and then I got to go.
I've been restricted several times, and they've cut pages even.
Really?
Yeah, like I've had a whole page removed. It was like, it looks like somebody is impersonating Benita Whitfield. What? That's me, my page with my page, But
I have another page too that I do not attend.
Oh, girl, be quiet. They will, your page here after today.
I got a different email address.
Okay. Yeah, I did that too. They caught up with my ass. The same pictures. They said it looks like that's a Benita Whitfield in person of Benita Whitfield.
I said I'm in a relationship, an open relationship with myself.
That's crazy. Okay, people, thanks so much for listening, checking us out. Listen, whether you are downloading this broadcast on Facebook or YouTube, or you listening to any of our audio versions, iHeart, Spreaker, or iTunes, thank you so much. We're going to get back into it, sis. This is my sister who epitomizes all things natural, all things where you can produce versus consume. Okay, so sis, what else we want to talk about today? We're building today. We talked already about ways that you can get free food from the garden.
Yes.
The Build Chicago Gardens, go online, look it up. We also talked about
my clothing.
Yeah, JCJ, all the cool items that she makes. Especially she's really, really good at not only sewing and making stuff, but then also repurposing things too. Like the way she got her shirt together.
And been in business since 1992.
Oh, yes, that's over 20 years. That's 27?
1992?
92.
Yeah, 92. So she's been doing this a while and jewelry too.
Yeah.
And she has good ideas about vegan dishes and recipes. So it's just a huge resource to the people.
Renaissance woman, I want to call myself.
Okay. I like it.
It's a long time. How old was you then?
We just graduated from high school.
Pretty much.
Oh.
That's the 74 babies. The best of the 70s.
17, 18.
Okay.
You could start a business right now, Moses, and then when you get to be our age, you'd be able to tell people, I've been in business for 30 some years.
So, can I be the new Pepsi?
You could if you wanted to.
I can make a new Pepsi.
Right, something you wouldn't call it Pepsi, of course.
But
right.
Like,
yeah, do you like a natural soda that tastes like Pepsi?
Natural. Rajane made homemade ginger. What's it called? What'd she make, Moses?
ginger ale.
Ginger ale. Homemade ginger
It
ale.
don't really taste good to me.
They have a company here in Chicago that is called, I'm not really sure what the name is, but they have a craft soda. It's one of the best ginger sodas I ever had in my life. And it's made here in Chicago. Chicago got some bombs. Besides myself.
Besides the fact that you was rude here.
But we have some really good stuff here that we don't know about that, that started like some homegrown. So, yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about Black love.
Okay. So Black love. What can I say about Black love?
Black love, the end.
Wow. Coming from a small Black man.
So grown up.
I have this album on my Facebook page that says "In Love with Black Love," and I do not only put pictures of like men and women in intimate situations with each other. I also have pictures where, for instance, a small child, a male child, bent down and tied the shoe of a female child. Stuff like that, like just being kind and
Well,
considerate
it's
and
called
thoughtful towards each other.
unconditional love. That's what that is. It's unconditional love, and that's to me, that's pretty much God.
I think
So
by the time you get married, then that comes with conditions, like you can't go out and cheat on me, or you can't
not only
this.
when you married,
If you're in an exclusive relationship, that definitely has some conditions to it right there.
Yeah, right. Um, I'm I'm always been a black love advocate. You know what I mean? JCJ Love Jones, but I'm single. And have been for a little bit. You know what I mean? And so the love and the rolling over into the black love into the dating scene has been pretty kind of scary. You know what I mean? You don't, you know, you think about the cyber stalking and the gang harassment, all these things that roll into dating. You you don't want to be out here. You don't. What's the song say? You don't want to be stuck out here by yourself without no black love. So I not to down the brothers because I don't really get into the downing of the brothers. I'm always big enough the black man. But to me, these days they're not more protective of the black woman. They kind of want to do a control kind of thing, but they don't want to protect, and respect. That button. And so that's how you show love. Even if it's unconditional, you don't necessarily have to be in love with the person, but you can just have a genuine love for people, or like you said, like the little boy tying a shoe. You know what I mean? You got love for your sisters and your brothers, so you make sure that they are doing okay. Make sure they're doing all right. Make sure that they're taken care of. It's just like being taken care of family. We the universal family.
And also loving yourself.
Oh, true indeed.
Loving
True
yourself.
Indeed. True indeed, sis, because that's where it starts. That's how you know that I should be looking out. You know what I mean? And having that confidence in, loving yourself to be able to generate that love out.
Like knowing who I am, being proud of who I am.
Yeah. And I'm from what I'm seeing, it's a lot of people with platforms. There's a lot of people that's out in the media. To me, they don't love themselves. Like I know you do your unapologetic black thing, and I love it. Every time I talk about you, that's the first thing that I say, that everything black. You know what I mean? And that's us. We have to. Who else gonna do it?
I had this one friend once say to me, she said, "I don't even know who to vote for." I'm like, "Sis, what you talking about? We know who to vote for. We're gonna vote for the black one."
Now,
but it didn't occur to her. That just didn't even occur to her. It's like, how do we build up us? How do we build up our community if we don't have like we have to have like a trust, a love, a
law, a order that has
a code
when it comes down to love. And it starts with self, like you said, but that's what I said. It does start with the universal God. Like Dick Gregory say, the universal God. You know what I mean? The universal God loves all. You know what I mean? Well, if you black, you loving us first. I mean, I don't mind saying I'm loving us first. And I got white friends. You know what I mean? And they know how I get down. You know what I mean? That's how it is. But you have to be able to be confident and know the difference and say, I got to take care of my people. I got to take care of myself first. But what is it? You've been married. God, yourself, and then your mate, or is it your mate before yourself?
I guess it depends on who you're talking to. Like we had Brother Wesley Muhammad in here, Dr. Muhammad.
Right.
He said God, family.
Okay. Well,
but it's very hard to if the marriage is not going to work if you put yourself above the marriage or if you put yourself above the family.
True.
It just won't work. You
Hmm.
have to consider the other thing too about marriage is the only way for it to work is that the two of you all don't consider yourselves to be two separate individuals. You have to really
Exactly.
see yourself as one.
Right.
Successful marriages do that.
I quote you a lot.
Really?
Yeah. That quote that a man doesn't want you if he can't come for you.
I said that.
Yeah, you said that. But I agree with that. You know what I mean? And when I guess I mean like this. Say is a arranged marriage or the families kind of arrange a marriage. And at some point, man, just an Indian culture. At some point, they have to come, or he has to come as himself to her, even if it's, you know what I mean, even if it's supervised, because in Islam that's what they do. You know what I mean? They might have the courtship and they might go on like a group date or whatever, but at some point he has to have a face to face with that woman before he's actually supposed to take her down the aisle. You know what I mean? And I just feel like we don't have enough of that either. We don't have enough black people, black couples getting married.
Well, just yesterday I was at this event and a brother sitting next to me said, "Wow, there's so many women here. And these women are not talking about their husbands.
Exactly.
Like, are any of these women married?" Then I had another brother tell me the other day, our good brother Jose.
Right.
He and I were building one day about why men cheat.
Hmm.
He said, "Well, if a man, all these women are uncovered, and it is a man's duty or his responsibility to feel like he's got to protect women. So if so many different women are uncovered, eventually he's gonna feel like he's got to go in and cover them, so to speak."
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
And
Does
yes,
that
I
make
do.
sense to you?
No, I think about that
So
word
it's like
covered,
he
like me
kinda-
covering this finger right here. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is that finger. You know what I mean? I'm covering it. I got this covered.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you got this really long ring on that covers the whole entire finger, right?
Right. But that's because
But for instance, you're looking at this hand, and if you want all these fingers to be covered, you're looking at this hand, this particular ring finger, say on your right hand, is covered, but the other ones aren't. So you're thinking you need to find something to cover all of those.
exactly.
And if it's your role and your job to cover that finger, then you're going to be out there, getting other rings, right?
Exactly.
And literally, that's what the brothers are doing, sticking their things in our rings so that they can cover us.
Right.
Because they're feeling, well, that's kind of the way he looked at it.
But that's exactly what I mean about being covered or having the back. You know what I mean? Like having the back of others. Like, okay, it's one thing to, you know what I mean, sit down and have like a universal build session with somebody, but that don't mean you're supposed to take her home and and you got a queen or queens. You know what I mean? Like, and I just, man.
Anyway, it just caused a whole nother perspective in my head. I was like, whoa.
Well, that's the 9 wives and the 3 wives and if that's what if that's what you into, I'm not dissing. That's my whole point. But it's just time for
let me go back to when he said that to me. He was saying that once upon a time he was in Alaska, and while in Alaska, he saw a lot less cheating. And part of the reason why there was a lot less cheating was because there was more men than women, and the women that were there were covered. And I honestly believe,
like physically,
that's why I believe wholeheartedly in marriages. Yeah, like they were married or in relationships. Like, for instance, you take the 30 houses on my block. If you were in each and every one of those houses, there was a man and a woman, a husband and wife in each house. I think, and if that was the replica of what was happening all across the country, there would be a lot less cheating, because a man's not going to want to take a woman who already has a man, because he that's dangerous for him. right? And then the woman's not going to flirt with or try and get with another man if she got a man at home keeping her together. Less likely then.
But let me ask you this: what you think about this, though? Um, do you think that it has a lot to do with, because we speaking about covered, and then we think about, you know what I mean? Like I said, the nation, and we talk about the dress and the attire,
Oh, wow.
and so do you think that that has a lot to do with it as well, as far as them, the
How we
choosing?
dress.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like the ideal of the woman, like you being this sexy, voluptuous woman, but then you by yourself, so it's like automatically you are either promiscuous or you know what I mean. You out opposed to you actually do have a man. You know, it's a,
Well, it's a whole different type of attention that I get if I go to the store in leggings than if I go to the store in jeans, or then if I go to the store in, just like sweatpants. So it makes a difference. It absolutely makes a difference.
you know what, I'm almost in the middle with that on the
How
attention.
you dress.
Yeah, because you know me, I like I wear all my clothes. You know what I mean, all of them. You know, and I get attention. I don't know if it's just the energy that I might generate, the love that I just get people, regardless if it's an old man, you know what I mean, walk, and he's fixing on his car, or a little boy that's little boy was trying to bust out the window. He turned around and said, "Hey," I'm like, but I didn't tell him to stop, but he stopped. My point is just saying that I don't know. I was looking at on Instagram. It's okay to speak on. Um, I was looking at Brother Polite. Now he has multiple wives, and a couple of his wives, they are very voluptuous women. You know what I mean, and dress pretty sexy. And I mean, personally, I don't have a problem with it. And I don't have a problem with, but I'm just curious. And he flaunts it. You know what I mean? He doesn't mind flaunting it, and neither do they. But I'm just wondering if that is not necessarily the protocol, or is that one of the reasons why so many women are by themselves, because they're like, okay, well, I don't want to be like this. I want to be like this. So I don't have, you know what I mean? So nobody's picking them for marriage, or they're saying, oh, nobody's picking me for to be their wife because I don't want to be a multi-wife. You know what I mean? I don't want to have a co-wife. You know what I mean? So I was just curious I don't know if you ever got a chance to check out his page, but he's always, and I'm looking at the wives, I'm like, wow, sexy. You know what I mean? But I'm like, okay, is it really a shortage? Because I don't believe it's a shortage of men. I don't believe it. I really
I
don't.
don't either.
And
And there was a documentary film put out where there's it's actually a 1 to 2 or 1.2 to 1 or something like that.
like one man to two,
Or
and
1.2
they used to
women
say
to
it was
one
like
man. It's
1 to 9 or 1 to 7 or something at first, and I'm like, they're lying.
Man, that's another thing that Jose said to me too. He was like, Benita, we our numbers are equivalent when we're younger, but
Mm,
because of all the death and the all of the horrible things that happen to black folks, especially black men, it
right.
causes that number to, those numbers to the to spread out. Like for instance, so when we're younger, like in our teens, we're almost equivalent, like as many women as there are men. But the older we get, then there's this gap
Right.
because of the negative things that happen to black men.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that I do agree with that to a degree. But I think it ended up, like you said, kind of balancing out eventually. You know what
Well,
I'm
here's
saying?
the weird thing that I don't understand. Why is it that there's, you know, like 3 or 4 dudes trying to holler at you, right? Or like 3 or 4 dudes trying to holler at me, or 3 or 4 dudes trying to holler at another sister. Like, why is it that there's this huge? That's the part that I don't understand. Like, if we had so many more men, so many more women than we have men, then I should be starving.
Well,
Or
look,
is it?
I just feel like when it comes down to so many this and so many that, I think that it has a lot to do with the energy that you generate. So like we have this power, black woman, goddess She the God. She the alpha female energy. So they're gonna come at us. But then when it comes down to like me saying I'm single, you know what I mean? It's the divine mate or the divine partner that we lined up with is the reason why I am single, because nobody, only that divine person or that other divine partner is supposed to be with. So I'm never gonna, be able to settle, into something that is not technically a divine meeting or divine union like I'm supposed to have. So that's why I think that that's a part of the reason why, you know, the pick of the, you know what I mean? Being the pick of the litter, you got to have the pick of the litter. You know what I mean? You can't put a mutt with, a thoroughbred. You just don't work like that. You know what I mean? So
I think, was that you telling me that somebody had put a meme out that said something like, "You would never mix your dogs.
no, but
So why would you mix your people?"
But one of my brothers, that's one of the Moors, he even said it. He said you wouldn't put a tiger with a platypus. You know what I'm saying? It just don't go. You know what I mean? And so you have to be patient. You know what I mean? You have to be patient for that time. Now, I mean, you know me, I'm been on my twin flame journey for a while. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm still on it. You know what I mean? And it's lonely. I mean, like I was saying, I'm like, shoot, I want some company. I mean, I don't want to chit chat on the phone no more. You know what I mean? Just with girlfriends. I want to get out and do some things. You know what I mean? Because there is things to be done. It is time to build. It is time to get some stuff done. And it takes, strong couples and strong couples as an example to show the, the young ladies and the young men like Moses, like he said, black love and in the end, you know what I mean? Like he needs to know that it ain't the end. That's the beginning, and it's infinite.
It absolutely is the beginning. It's going to be what heals us.
Yes.
It's going to be what heals the whole entire planet.
Yeah.
And it's going to be what causes this racism, white supremacy racism to go away. We've got to get to a point where we love each other so much. We have families. Families going to build good communities. Good communities going to build strong nations. Good strong nations is going to cause white supremacy eventually, hopefully, God willing, to disappear.
Are you sure this will all make it disappear?
It's going to take some years. We talking about maybe even some decades.
Maybe it would take millenniums.
Yeah. Hopefully it wouldn't take that long. I think that
maybe like take millenniums. Maybe the last time. Maybe it will happen when the world is about to explode and all the white people are like, "Oh, we're so sorry."
Oh wow. Listen, I think that if we spreaded more love today, you know what I mean? Like just in a matter like, you never just like remember how appreciative I was when I talked to you yesterday about being able to come on the show? I love it. You know what I mean? And how he was like, tomorrow's good. You know what I mean? And how many times I've been asking you and you've been busy. So it's just like you were saying, it's not about necessarily the couples. You know what I mean? It's also about that unconditional, the universal love. So
okay, well, let's take a quick break for station and announcements and also identification, as well as we're going to listen to a little bit more music. And then I want to come back and talk about feminism and how it's harming us.
What do we talk about after that?
Into One Drop Elopes on IntellectualRadio.com. Hosted by me, Benita Asset. One Drop Elopes is a constructive response to white supremacy, which is racism. We want to see everyone free. The chief sponsor for One Drop Elopes is Benita's Homemade Things, where you can get scrumptious cake and delicious cookies, as well as colorful hats, scarves, and gloves. One Drop Elopes airs on IntellectualRadio.com every Sunday at 12 noon Central. Call in at 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. Now, back to our show.
We woke up lit, whole time. 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 Whoa, 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 whoa. We woke up lit, whole time. 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 Whoa,
I woke up lit, I woke up lit, I woke up lit. I woke up lit, I woke up lit. I woke up like this, ayy, in my system, I feel so fabulous, ayy, poppin', I don't feel average, ayy, I got a pack today, I got a bag today, I do the passion race, I buy a bag of face, smoking on stink like I got me an to my face, see that I'm litty, so she wanna give me a taste, keep me so automatic, if you take I think you might panic, think you better off just popping them, I smoke, let me a planet, smoking on doze, I might just dunk like the rose, what the smoke,
we woke up lit, whole time. 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 Whoa, 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 whoa. We woke up lit, whole time. 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 Whoa, 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 woke up and checked on my credit. Ayy, girl, she calling me managed. Ayy, me all in the ayy. That is my wife, not a fetish. Ayy, we are thoughts without effort. You cannot do what I want. Love is the goal and you first. Hit it with that love machine. Ayy, let that girl do what I want. Stacking the ones to the 20s, the 20s, the 50s, the 50s, the notes. Reaching the stars till I'm lit and I'm lit 'cause I'm shining like Stanley Opposed. Yes, I am the pose. Nation who terrorize, pesticides all of my family for gold. Either way, I pull up in the road. Hey, my soul is more than some clothes. Hey, my soul is more than some stacks. Hey, me another one. Yeah, hey, we woke up lit, whole time. We woke up lit, whole time. We woke up lit, whole time. We woke up lit, whole time.
Hey, welcome back to One Drop Elopes with me, your host, Benita Offset and Moses. And we're here with our girl, JCJ Chicago's
J Love Jones.
J Love Jones.
J Love Jones.
What was the piece manifest on Instagram? Anyway, this is my sister Jackie, y'all, and she's just all over the place with she's been working, having her business for over 25 years now, and doing a lot of different things that basically she epitomizes produce versus consume. We just finished listening to Charzelle and Guala, and you can find them on YouTube. That was Woke Up Lit. Or I think actually they just call the song Lit, girl. That's it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And they got videos made and everything. They're gonna come up. So listen, what I want to talk about with you before we gotta go, when we have less than 20 minutes, is feminism and how I think that it's harming us. You know, this
How
whole
much feminism have you
Moses,
talked
do you know
about?
what feminism is? Well, basically, Moses, it's women who say, I don't need a man. Or, well, at least that's my interpretation of it. Maybe we can let Jackie define it a little bit better.
Feminism was like
I'm not the one.
Masculine changing to feminine.
Well, okay, so there's feminine energy and there's masculine energy, and that's working together, a nice balance.
Mm-hmm.
And all men and women have that. But then there's also women have a tendency to be more feminine than men do, and men have a tendency to be more masculine than women are. So, but what I'm concerned about is when women fight so hard for equality with the man that it gets to the point where they get these attitudes of I don't need a man attitude.
Right.
And I think that's very dangerous for us.
Well, especially politically. I mean, you know what I mean? It would be a more political
what's
thing.
dangerous for it?
Why is feminism dangerous for us? Okay, she was Sister Jackie was about to say something about politically. Go ahead.
Well, to me, it's like they're fighting for, because I'm not a feminist. I know I need a man. But it's a the feminists are fighting for a political platform to be separate from um basically, to me, the household. To me, it was something basically started in the 70s that took black women out of the house. Well, it took the black man, basically broke up the black family, gave black women jobs, um, the black men on the street, drugs, working, everything like that. And so it started to me there, and then it just rebirthed itself out into our culture now. And so we have a lot of women that's fighting for equality. Okay, I get the equality, equal pay and equal this, equal that. I got that. But when you're trying to take on, and that's when it goes into the LGBTQ community thing. And so I just, to me, so many things are designed to break up the black family that soon as somebody starts saying, "Oh, hey, okay, we this, okay, now we're not all fighting together, man, woman, and child. It's we women over here fighting, and or okay, the white woman and the black woman, okay, we over here fighting and stuff like that." So I'm gonna be honest with you, I have stayed straight up out of it. I don't know who. Only thing I seen and I liked, Cree Summers' daughter had on and I told you I want you to make me one, me and Sally, crocheted crown, and it had feminine in it. And I was like, that's dope, but I wanted to say queen or say princess. Take that feminist crap off of there, because I'm not fighting to be separate or fighting to be independent. I mean, you independent when you're single. That's one thing. You know what I mean? I'm a single entity by myself. JCJ, Chicago, self-made by herself. I'm independent. That's my business. I am in control of my intellectual property. When I become a couple, then we, like you were just saying, you mentioned being two separate entities, but when you become a couple, y'all work together to
Merge into one.
yeah. And one above, like we was talking about the black woman being God or being goddess and the black man being God. We both are gods, because if you just want to say the word God, but I mean, you put the is on there just to, feminize it or make it feminine. You know what I mean? So I just think that they taking it too far as usual. You know what I mean? And another way to keep the same beef going that has been going on for 60, 70 years, 100, 400,
Well,
500 years.
the things that have broken up the black family, that alone is a book right there.
Exactly.
There are so many different things. Feminism is just one of them. And I hate that our people can't see it.
Yeah.
They could analyze life, look at life, and say, this that's not right for us. And we've had enough years on earth that I think that we finally have figured it out. Even those who are blinded, they should see clear as day that this is not going to help us.
Can even see that.
So it would back to Jose. Oh my goodness, he must be talking about me or something. But another thing that he shared with me once was there was this report that was done during the riots, and the report was immediately after the riots, because the government or the people who created this report was trying to figure out ways that we wouldn't have those 68 riots ever again.
Right.
And so they came up with all of these different ideas to basically control black folks so that the riots would. And one of the things that he had pointed out to us was the that black women will be a lot less likely to make babies if you give them education. And so then they gave us, around that time, there was all these bills offering free college to black
that's
women.
You said 68, and that's what I mean. Like, my brother was born in 1968. I was born in 74. That was that give them education, get them out and now they all out working. And so
So everything you were saying was like reiterating what I had listened to him
Yeah.
say, and basically everything that I'm feeling too about this whole process of uh, breaking us down, breaking the Black family. Because at that time, our strength during the civil rights movement was Black man, Black woman, Black child standing together, everybody, and we need to get back to that.
Yeah, definitely.
The other thing is, I recently watched a YouTube video where the guy was saying that I'm gonna have to send you a copy of this. But anyway, I was really excited because it hit me for a different perspective. He was saying that money, white supremacy needed us so that we can give them the money, because our communities was strong. We was making all the money we needed to
Exactly.
make because we were forced. We had to keep our dollar within ourselves because we weren't allowed to spend money with them. So that's weird. Why is the phone ringing? It shouldn't be ringing if I'm on live, right? So anyway, we had to spend our money with ourselves. And then that caused us to be strong. And they were poor. They was coming home from the war. They didn't have any money.
Exactly. It's
And
true.
they had
Vietnam
they
War.
was in recessions. They had nothing. And so they purposely, and he said that they put King out there on purpose just to help us to go.
It's true. What you talking about, Jose? No, you
Nah,
talking about
that was
this
a
is
whole
the
different. This
this
was
is
a
a
different
document,
video.
but it's still the same thing that we've
Yeah,
been talking about, and it's totally true. You know,
but it really broke us down. You know, of course, again, breaking down the Black family. Another one was desegregation. So, like I said, that's a whole book right there, sis.
it's a mind trip. It's a mind game. But I want to say something real quick before because I
We
know
have
you're
to
getting ready to wrap.
close.
Yeah. I just want to thank you again. This is my first time on live Facebook.
Oh, really?
No, live anything. It's the first time on radio. So I just want to give you just mad shouts and love. Yeah. Yeah, and I liked it. I might have a future in broadcasting. I know I
Absolutely.
heard I had a one of those voices
Well,
that
definitely you got that voice.
what do you say? You should
They
do
put a lot of videos.
do voiceovers.
Somebody else that talks about that with me when I was in school at IMS. Somebody had was talking about voiceover jobs. She had a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah, I should text her.
Yeah.
I'll share the information.
Awesome.
We
Okay, brother, stop playing mind games with the stop playing the mind games with the sisters.